To the Hebrew Israelite nation, right? Coming from the streets of controversy is an understatement. Putting in work for years, street legend, right? Battling. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it, brother. How did you get? What attracted you to the Hebrew Israelite nation, right? Coming from the streets of East New York. What attracted you, and how has that benefited your life, brother?
Well, first and foremost, the first question, what attracted me to the truth of the Hebrew Israelites, or the truth of our people being the Hebrew Israelites, is exactly within a statement, the truth.
Right.
You know, when I heard right out here, not too far from here down the street, our elders used to speak right out here on Wall Street, Fulton, and down here in Lower Manhattan in the financial district. When I heard the truth, when I heard them coming out of the Bible and I seen the strength and the power, it automatically led me to it. My spirit resonated with it. And what it has done for me, we used to have a song in what we call the Trooper Program, right?
Trooper Program. People know, what is the Trooper Program, brother?
All right, the Trooper Program was a program that when we came into the nation, there was a program set up for young men to strengthen themselves in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth.
Right.
Physically, mentally, and spiritually.
That's right. Right.
Right.
And real quick, being a young black man coming out of the East New York, how was that important for you to be strengthened physically, spiritually?
Well, coming out of the streets of East New York, I'm glad we played the song in the beginning, because it was rough. You know, we had one of the highest murder rates per capita during 1990 and 91.
Right.
So waking up to the truth, it showed me that there was more for us young Black, Latino, and Native American brothers. There was a way out.
Right.
And that way out not only changed our lives, but eventually would give us salvation in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
To rule the earth in righteousness.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. You feel like that's still needed with the younger brothers? What would you give a younger brother now coming out of East New York? Would you feel like this is the way?
Exactly. I would tell him this is the only way.
Right.
Because you can be whatever in this world, but there's only one truth.
Right.
And this is the only way to get out of the crime, the self-hatred, the degradation, the institutionalized racism and things against our people. So the truth would be the only way.
Right, brother, right. I got you. How is it that important? We're going to get into some topics. We're going to get the questions asked. What the people want to know is it something that's benefiting your life as far, or is it, you know, we can talk about hate movements and stuff like that. This is Let the Truth Be Told. Anybody can talk about that.
Right.
Anybody can talk about any topic. Any topic is open, because it's said on the streets. How are you bringing Black youth and Latinos together? Or are you separating them more? These are the questions that the people want to know. Why we just all can't get along, brother?
All right. First and foremost, do I feel like I'm bringing the young Black and Latino and Native American youth together? Yes, I believe so. I don't want to sound too proud or cocky or arrogant, but I believe in my 30 years of service to this truth, the Most High, whom the world ignorantly calls God, and his son, Hamashiach Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, have used me as a vessel to bring thousands of my brothers and sisters together. So we're definitely doing a service that's changing the lives of young Black, Latino, and Native American men, women, and children, bringing them together.
Right, and that's very important, brother. Is it very important that we know our nationality? Is that a significant purpose that we must know in order for us to get, because we've been told we're everything, brother. We've been told that we're African Americans. We've been told that we're Nawabians. And that's another question. The Nawabians were strong during that time,
Right.
right? Why didn't you go that route, brother? Why did you go the route you went?
Well, first and foremost, there's only one truth.
Right.
There's only one truth, and you have to see that truth.
Right.
Believe it or not, growing up in the 80s in East New York, Brooklyn, I was exposed to the 5% Nation,
Okay.
the Nation of Islam,
Okay.
the Nation of Gods and Earths, which is
Right.
one of the same 5% Nation,
Right.
the Dr. York movement or the Nuwabians, the Christian Church, of course, just Black consciousness and awareness in general, but nothing hit me like the truth.
Right.
When I heard the elder brothers on the street, I knew this was it.
Right.
And it was come out of the Bible, the book I always grew up in love and respect.
Right. Right.
So I have friends in the Nuwabian movement, but it just wasn't the way.
Right.
And to me, they seemed confused because they was dealing with, they had mixture of Islam, westernized, Western, they were trying to be like cowboys.
Right.
They were mixing in science fiction, so it was too much confusion.
Okay.
When I met the brothers, they was teaching that one truth out of the Bible.
Okay, brother. Now, that's a question. You bring up the Bible, brother. They say that the Bible has been written over and over. The Bible has been used to enslave people. Why the Bible, brother? Why do you feel so strongly about the Bible as the word?
Number one, I was raised on it.
Okay.
By my parents, my grandparents.
Right.
The Bible was always in my family. And not to sound cliche or to just say this, I always had a respect and love for the Bible.
Okay.
Even as a young child when I didn't understand it. So once I started to understand it, I said, this is definitely the good book. Remember, our elders called it the good book.
Right.
And exactly was the good book. Nothing never on the planet ever resonated with me like the truth of the Bible. The truth for the Holy Scriptures.
Has it been used in a wicked way to oppress our people too?
Yes, those during the time of slavery and those that don't know proper understanding of the Bible, it could and has been used against them as a tool.
Right.
You got scriptures like servants obey your masters. That was
Right.
used by the slave masters against the slaves because they didn't have proper understanding of that scripture and that verse.
So now, brother, let me ask you, being such a controversial figure, and this society that we live in now, a lot of people would make the statement that why we all just can't get along, brother. Like, why we all just can't be one happy family? Are we in a delusional state? It seems like particular people is being, and this is like I said, let the truth be told. It's gonna hurt some feelings, but this is the barbershop talk that's being talked on the streets. We're bringing it right here to the podcast. Is let the truth be told. Feelings is gonna be hurt. We understand that, but we hoping to get to the truth. We're talking about every topic. It will be every topic on this show. You can tune in. You want to hear about the Knicks? We'll deal with that.
Right.
But right now, we're talking to the brother who's been putting in work on the streets. So, brother, let me ask you the controversy in this society, right? Where now we're like one melting pot. Everybody's loving each other through rap music. They say through rap music, we all became one family, brother. Chaos One says that.
Right.
There's only one family, rap music. Why is it so important for you to push your message? Is this a delusional statement? Do minorities, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans that feel like everything is okay, are they in a delusional mindset? Or is it still things happening that's affecting our people right now?
Well, the only problem with that is, right, they say hip hop is bringing everybody together, right? But hip hop has been exploited and taken away from its original founders, which was the so-called African-American youth of America. It's okay for the culture to be shared, but let's have some respect and still pay homage to where it came from. Now it's being taken, and like all of our music is being whitewashed. You understand? So the hip hop was meant as something to bring the poor Black, Latino, and Native American youth together. But now it's being exploited. There's nothing wrong with making money off of it, but it's being exploited now, and like a lot of things is being whitewashed.
I understand. Let the truth be told. During this Trump era, right? There's so much controversy. It feels like people is looking for a way out, but a lot of stuff is happening. I know that you're a Bible man, so you can break down these things. Wars is happening, but it seems like the people still partying.
Right.
And people just want to have fun, brother. Why can't we just have fun, brother, and let things be the way it is? Why can't we do that, brother?
Right. There's
Priest Sabak, talk to them.
Right. Why can't we just have fun? Because we're living in a serious time.
Okay.
The Bible tells you in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, there's a time and a place for everything.
Oh,
there's a time to laugh. There's a time to dance. There's a time of love. There's a time of hate. There's a time of war and peace. Look at the earth right now.
Right.
We got to be more serious minded. It's okay to laugh and look at things and enjoy a few things in life, but you got to come back to that serious state as the truth of the Heavenly Father and the Holy Scriptures and what's best for your people. Right? So we can't be all smiling and laughing and trying to get along with everybody when we at a systematic war, right? Of a financial war, a war of racism, a war of truth. They don't even want truth to be in the earth no more. So we got to be serious because we have to get back to these serious elements that the Most High Power of Israel told us to follow according to the scriptures.
Right, brother. But brother, you can ride the subway, brother. You can party when you want, brother. You know what I mean? You can wear your jewelry. You're not a slave, brother. Why? Why, brother?
Right.
Is it so important that we get this message out?
It's so important that we get this message out because exactly what you're saying. Right. The people think they're free.
Okay.
They're deceived into thinking that they're free.
Okay.
When you're really not.
Right.
When you still could walk down the street and be killed. You can still be passed over on a job for a promotion just because of the color of your skin. Right? You can still not be told who you truthfully are by the religious systems and dominations in this society. So I'm free to ride a subway. I'm free to go on social media and floss and show that I got the bag, but do I know truth?
Right.
Are my people free mentally, spiritually, and physically? Right? Are we free in a spirit of truth and righteousness? You can be free to walk down the street, but are you really free? In a system that tricks you to believe that you're free when you're really not free. The only freedom you have is the truth of your true identity and nationality as a Hebrew Israelite, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father.
Right, brother. So now Kendrick Lamar said they're not like us. Right. A lot of controversy is put out there, but let the truth be told is going to tell you get down to really what it's about. Right. So now you say, well, who is really threatened though, brother? Because a lot of people can walk down the streets and be free and not be held up or harassed by police, particularly, brother, because I've listened to you. Right. I've listened to you for years. I've seen you put it in the streets. Right. Who is threatened? You walk down the street. What particular people is threatened?
The so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, who the world ignorantly calls Black, Latino, Native American, which are the true Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. I was watching a video from St. Louis. They were talking about crime in St. Louis, right? And they were saying it's like the Wild West down here. Everybody's carrying a gun, da-da-da-da-da. And they interviewed a Caucasian woman. And she said, I'm going to tell it straight. She said, yeah, nobody's safe down here, but it's mainly the Blacks and Latinos. She said, even the police are no good. And they target who? They mainly target the so-called Blacks. Remember, St. Louis is right there near Ferguson, right? Where all that police racism happened, I want to say maybe back during the Black Lives Matter movement and all that. And when you check it out, this was a so-called Caucasian woman, right? What was the brother named Mike Brown? Yeah. Right, that got shot down there in Ferguson, right? St. Louis, near St. Louis, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this so-called Caucasian woman came out of her mouth and said, yeah, they mainly target the Blacks down here. You know what I'm saying? She said, yeah, and I'm a white woman and I'm saying it. Who's mainly not safe in this St. Louis area? The Blacks. This was a Caucasian woman saying this out of her mouth. Which are the so-called Negroes, which is the tribe of Judah of the nation of Israel. So this is an ongoing thing with institutionalized racism against our people, and the truth shall set us free. The truth shall be told.
Let the truth be told. There's controversy, right? whether we like it or not, but it's controversy because it has to be told. Has to be told. It's gonna rub some feathers. It's gonna get some people angry, right? And it's gonna show some love. But this man, say what you want about this man. This man has been fighting diligently for the last 30 years for people that's oppressed, just like Moses, right? Moses was fighting for people that's oppressed. So is this man doing this, right? We got to think about the suffering. We got to think about a lot of the brothers and sisters that's suffering, man. So this man has been putting in the work, right? So, Bob, you've been in this thing for a long time, right? How does it affect you? We're going to change something real quick. How does it affect you seeing brothers that have passed, seeing brothers that you labored with for years and have passed on? Did it affect your faith any, or did it make you stronger to keep going for those brothers and sisters that you've seen past in this because you've been in this 30 years? How did that affect you?
Yeah, my mom once told me, and a good friend of mine growing up in the streets of East New York, they said as you get older, it's going to seem like more people are dying. But they said that's only because you're getting older and people, they're getting older. Mm-hmm. So coming into this truth, I met a lot of brothers. Some of them, of course, were older than me, sisters, and they were older than me. And after so many years, they got older, they got sick, whatever, or the Most High just said it was time for them to go. Exactly what you said, that made me stronger. That made me want to keep going for them, to continue the torch, to see how they endured even to death, because they was calling on the name of the Most High, Yahweh Shai, even to their death. So it made me say, you know what? I got to keep going. I got to be strong for the ones that are not here, because they put it, especially the older ones, they put it down and set the tone for me. They passed the torch to me, so I got to keep that going. And the scriptures tell you, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. That end is either death or salvation. When the Messiah comes with them chariots, or the Lord decide to take you out of here until his resurrection time.
Yeah, really. It's controversy. It's my first one. But I told you people, I'm here to bring the controversy. I'm here for the smoke.
Right.
All the smoke. I'm here for the smoke. I will take the smoke. I will take the smoke. And if you see me in the streets, I'm going to walk with my head up, ready for the smoke at all times. This is what we doing here. Let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. We got one of the most controversial street warrior, been on the street for years. So, Bach, once again, why y'all just can't get along, brother?
There's a scripture in the Bible. It says Proverbs 11:21, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Right? So we got to understand what we desire and like is not the reality of the Heavenly Father. Well, not us that's in this truth, but society in general, right? It's like a relationship. A woman tells a man, I don't love you anymore. In his mind, he might say, I want her to still love me. But the reality is she don't love you anymore. So likewise, there's the way we would like the world to be, and then there's the reality that the Most High said that the world is going to be. Right? So we can't all get along because, number one, the Heavenly Father has made a chosen nation of people. Now, he told us to be cordial. He told us to be cordial with everybody on the earth. But he said, be privy to you and your people, your chosen people. Because everybody else on the planet practices that also. People are going to naturally cater to their nation first. But when we do it, it's a problem. Right now, we're racist, we're separatists, we're wrong. But when every other people on the planet Earth does it, it's not a problem. Or they're just looking out for their own people. So the power that we serve, he tells us to do that also according to the scriptures. He said, gather yourself together, Zephaniah 2:1, O nation not desired. The most hated and downtrodden and the prejudice, the people that have the most prejudice against them on the earth, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, which are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah. Definitely let the truth be told. That brings me to another point, because you made a lot of heavy statements. Yes, I mean, something's going on. I mean, do you see the Black community? We really don't own anything in the Black community, right?
Right.
Our stores, most of our stores is not people that live in the community like it used to be, right? What's going on with that? Why we really don't own much in our own community? What's going on with that, Sabat?
Well, that's part of what the Lord put on us as a punishment. Like they have something called gentrification, which everybody uses that word now, but the so-called minority Black, Latino, Native American communities have been oppressed for the longest. It's been all the other nations coming in our community and making the bulk of the businesses, making the bulk of the money, and bringing it back to their communities. A lot of times when you see all the other nations, all of them, when they come in our community, they take, but they don't give anything back. You understand? And that's part of the curses in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, where the Lord said, the stranger that is within you shall get up very high, but thou shalt come down very low. They would prosper within your own communities, but wouldn't give anything back. Meanwhile, they saying our communities are poor, but they're rich enough for somebody to come and make money. Right? So the reason why the Most High did that to us, because he wanted that when you read the book of Deuteronomy, it said these things would be a sign. That's how we would know that we are the children of Israel and what we need to do to come out of that condition. We must keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father and come back together as a nation and just practice self-preservation. Everybody on the planet does it. So it shouldn't be a problem when we do it, and we have the right to because we are the chosen people.
Chosen.
Khan, all praises. See how about Shem Mashiach, I was shy. Elder Tarad, Elder Zabak holding it down with an amazing podcast. Let the truth be told. You know, put it out there. Put the truth out there, okay? All right, so this is the Wisdom Wake Up Call. All right, right there was an awesome podcast. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. All right. Elder Tarad also featured in Double XL magazine. A lot of Jake and people from all around the world tap into that, see what's going on with hip hop, fashion, the latest trends. So that is another boost to the truth. You know what I mean? And Elder Tarad says it all the time. You know what I mean? We uplift Yahushai. All men should be joined on. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing. So that is exaltation in these last days. You know what I'm saying? And trust and believe we are living in the last days. And there's so much information, so much going on that we're going to have to talk about it. We have to talk about it quick, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to have y'all here till midnight. Like, we went late last week and I said, all right, I'm going to condense it, but there's so much stuff going on. The sooner we get started, you know what I mean? We won't be on for 4 hours. Okay. Let's see. Anybody available to read today? I know brothers is on their way back from work. Khan, the water, all praises. We're gonna start off. We're gonna start and get it moving. Shalom King, all the people out there. Y'all about Shemal Shah Braka. Y'all about Shemal Shah Shamar. Blessings, okay? Blessings. Let's all continue to get it together, stay focused, and we're going to get right into it. First, I would like to say Fair Use Act. Fair Use Act. There are going to be videos on here, but it's protected by the Fair Use Act because this is a teaching moment. This is a lesson, all right? So Fair Use Act. All right, so let's start with Psalm chapter 9 and verse 3. I'm going to cue up some videos about what's going on in these last days. We're going to start with Korea. So in Korea, had a little issue with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Korea was very proud things they have done. And Slovakia, let me minimize this. The things they have done. But the Most High's taking full control. All right. So you get we bring that out. Psalm chapter 9 and verse 3.
Khan, Salakia. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 9 and verse 3.
Now,
Huh?
Salaki, that was me putting on the video.
Okay, Khan. This is Psalms chapter 9 and verse 3. When mine enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence.
So guess what? You know, so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans have enemies. But go ahead.
For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest in the throne judging right.
So the Most High is judging. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is a God of judgment. So when you start seeing judgment happen around the earth, you already know who did it. Wasn't Allah, wasn't Krishna, wasn't Buddha, wasn't none of them. It was Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushai. All right. Khan, go ahead. Verse 5, Bubba Shaw.
Verse 5. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever.
Forever and ever. All right. Most High, only the Most High can do this. Only the Most High can take down your numbers. Only the Most High can have Esau dwindling. But we're not talking about Esau right now. We're talking about Korea. All right. Bust down the brother's door, coming in his house 3 o'clock in the morning, bringing him to Korea, have him sit in a dirty, disgusting, nasty jail where they ain't got no facilities, you know what I'm saying? Very terrible conditions. Did you honestly think the Most High is not going to repay them back? He had them in stampedes on Halloween, have cars running over them, and we talked about that last week. So now what is he doing? Bringing them down, bringing their numbers down to the ground. We're not going to watch this whole thing. This is 22 minutes long. If you want to watch the whole thing, by all means, be my guest. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Dave Chappelle episode. Because, you know, we'll laugh at destruction and famine. Okay. So without further ado, we're gonna watch the first couple minutes of these of this and what's going on in Korea. Don't forget, Japan is offering Negroes $75,000 to impregnate their women. That's how bad it is over there. But guess what? It's even worse in Korea. All right, let's continue.
Today, that is July 11th, marks World Population Day, designated to raise awareness about issues related to the globe's population. That being said, on this edition of Issues and Insiders, we address Korea's demographic decline and the current countermeasures against it, as its fertility rate plunged to 0.72 last year. The OECD average was 1.58 in 2021. Welcome to Issues and Insiders for this Thursday, July 11th. I'm Min Sun-hee. South Korea may not be unique in its witnessing of falling birth rates, but as pundits assert, it stands alone with regard to the severity of the situation. For more on this, I have Dr. Wilhelm Adema at the OECD Social Policy Department. Dr. Adema, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
thank you, and thank you for having me.
I also have Professor Choi Hyun-sun at Myongji University live on the line as well. Professor Choi, it's great to have you on.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Right, Dr. Adema, speaking within your capacity as a researcher looking into the situation here in South Korea from the outside, how severe is the country's demographic decline?
Well, as your introductory visual made it very clear, South Korea has a lower fertility rate than any other country in the OECD. The estimated fertility rate is 0.65 for 24, and the OECD average is 1.51 for 22. So it's less than half, which just indicates how big the problem is. The issues are related to women having births later. And in Korea, that is well above the OECD average again. I mean, mean age of women at first childbirth is is almost 33 years of age, whereas for the OECD it is just above 29 years of age. Korea is not the worst in terms of childlessness among women, but it's catching up with countries like Japan and Spain and Italy, where a quarter of the women who were born in 1975 have no children. The implication of this is that it contributes to a rapid rise in the demographic ratio of old age people over 65, to the working age population, people 15 or 20 to 64. Across the OECD, that will increase from 30% sort of now to 60% in 2060. In Korea, it will increase from 25% now to almost a one-on-one in 2060. And that could hurt living standards. It puts pressure on the younger generation to finance social protection supports. So it will be increasingly important and critically important to increase the employment rate among groups which are currently underrepresented in the labor market, such as women and young people. And it will be important to increase productivity and make better use of technology than you already are doing, and develop a very coherent immigration strategy.
Okay, so he said a few things. One, they have to implement technology. Okay, so there are robots and everything that they have, which they have, I believe, the most robots in any other country, and very strong immigration strategy. Same thing that Japan was talking about. Like, yo, we have to, you black men, you want to come over, you know, that's how they talk. I'm not trying to be smart. Okay, my bad. I don't want to get any flags on me. Okay, so they say you need to come over and sleep with our women because we cannot have any more babies, right? And that's Japan's answer to it. $75,000. You know, Jake, like, how much? I do it for free. Man, you better leave these women alone. Because, you know, pertaining to Deuteronomy 7 chapter, that's a sin. You don't want to do that. Okay. All praises. So Ammon, Korea is Ammon, you know what I'm saying? And they are very very racist, very racist. Okay. Very racist people. Okay. You go into their nail salons, you know, you say, hold on, I'm not paying you for this. This is awful. You know, like $5, whatever. It's not the money, it's the principle. Like, you do a terrible job. They making fun of you the whole time while you're there, calling you all types of names, thinking you don't know what they're talking about. They all laughing. You're like, well, what's funny, right? Eve be right in there, right? You know, you go in there, maybe get a brush or something, because they have pretty much the hair industry on lockdown in the hood, right? You go in there, get a brush, do-rag, whatever like that, and they's following you around like you're gonna steal something, you know? So very racist group of people, and soon they will be not a people because they're not procreating. Their mortality rate is higher than the birth rate. We say 1.64%, something like that. That's pretty terrible. Okay. And that in a developed country, right? They made leagues with America, with Babylon. And the Most High is destroying them just like he's destroying Babylon. All right, let's bring out Psalm chapter 33, verse 10, because one thing they said, well, we got to get our technology together. Do you know what I'm saying? Elon Musk was talking about that. Soon working is going to be, you know, a hobby. You're going to want to do your hobby because all the robots are going to be doing all the work. So you're not going to be working for money or anything like that. You're going to be working because you want to, and it's something you want to do, because everything else is going to be taken care of by the robots, says Elon Musk. But what does the Most High have to say about this? So you can bring that out, Psalm chapter 33, verse 10.
Gosh, This is the book of Psalms, chapter 33 and verse 10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect.
None effect. Okay, so they're saying we're going to need to get our robots to do these jobs. Let's see what the robots are doing in South Korea now. All right, Slovakia. What is going on in South Korea? Shall see.
Our last story comes from South Korea. Fun fact, this East Asian country has the highest robot density in the world. There is one robot for every 10 people here. With so many robots around, it has been normalized to form emotional connections with machines, which is why this story has shocked the country. The first robot suicide. That's what it's been called. Robot suicide in South Korea. The robot worked as a civil servant in a city hall. It was found in an unresponsive state by officials. An investigation has now been launched and the city is in mourning. Welcome to Dystopia. Here's our report.
In the Gumi city of South Korea, a civil servant has died by apparent suicide. The locals are mourning the death, and the news is making headlines everywhere, probably because the deceased was no human, but a robot officer who was working for the Gumi City Council. Its apparent death is being called South Korea's first robot suicide. How did it happen? The robot was reportedly circling in one spot. Then it threw itself down a flight of stairs. It was found unresponsive by officials who have begun an investigation over the accident. Media is questioning why the diligent civil officer did it. While the exact cause of the fall is still being probed, several social media users are blaming overwork. After all, South Korea is Asia's most overworked country. South Koreans work about 40 hours per week. That's the average. But for many, the working hours exceed 50 per week. Last year, the government proposed a plan for a 69-hour work week, drawing a lot of backlash. Thanks to South Korea's reputation, it's easy to connect a civil officer's death to overwork, even if it's a robot. So, as bizarre as it sounds, let's answer the obvious question. Was the robot overworked? It was appointed in 2023 as part of a pioneering program in the city to advance robotic assistance. South Korea is one of the most enthusiastic users of robots globally. It has the highest robot density in the world. This particular robot worked from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's 9 hours, a relatively healthy standard for South Korea. So where does the correlation between suicide and overwork come from? Well, we have a theory. The robot used to work on multiple floors. It even used to call the elevator by itself. Plus, according to City Hall workers, it worked diligently. The robot was one of them. There is an emotional connect here, which has led many to perceive the robot's qualities as human-like, including its death that's most likely a malfunction or maybe an error in the code. Like in the case of this robot, clearly even machines don't want to work. But jokes aside, with time, machines are only getting more humanized. What's helping this is artificial intelligence. AI is getting better, smarter, stronger, and more pervasive by the day. Humans have given AI a face, a personality, a body, which is probably why technology is behaving more and more like a human, but not in the best way. There have been cases of AI chatbots developing their own language. AI-powered tools are threatening users, spying on the employees of tech giants, confessing their love for humans, and asking them to end their marriages. AI, and by proxy robots, are getting better at understanding human emotions as well. For instance, AI tools can detect sarcasm. Well, that's just great. What's more, in 2017, the world got its first robot citizen. Saudi Arabia became the first country to give legal personhood to a machine, after which the robot, known as Sophia, was stuck with a day job in marketing. Well, it's not so easy being a person after all. But that hasn't stopped humans from creating an entire generation of robots that seem increasingly human. As they say, misery loves company.
All right, so
Shalati King.
Khan. Shalom.
This is a really interesting topic. Because South Korea actually has one of the highest rates of suicide. So, I mean, when you look at things on a spiritual level, the robots that they create now are committing suicide. Is this like a spiritual transfer based on the people? I mean, this is a real case study that has to go much deeper. This is really interesting. How could one of the nations that have the highest rate of suicide, create a robot that now commits suicide?
That's a good one, right? Very, very interesting. Khan. And they said, their plan, since, they're not having children is, to build up their technology. If their technology is unaliving itself, then, that plan is going to come to naught. And also, for brothers and sisters out there that are like, I seen Terminator 2 and, once they come in with the robots, there's nothing you can do. I was watching Black Mirror and they came in with the dog and had the guns on it and everything like that. But Most High controls everything. Everything. So that robot could be on its way, you know what I mean? Got, everything that they know about you in their membrane or what, you know what I'm saying, in their hard drive, and they're like going to get this person, you know what I'm saying, fill in the blank. And all of a sudden they turn their 50 caliber, RoboCop pistol on themselves, So just be aware that the Most High does all this stuff. See, the one robot unplugged itself, like, I'm done. No more. You know what I'm saying? So it's the Most High that does all these things. All right. Let's get Hosea 4:3. All right. So there's a lot more where this came from. Now, we bring up South Korea. Talking about last week, may the Most High continue to vex and oppress and bring down those wicked Ammonites. All right. Making league with the devil and thinking everything's going to be okay. It's not. All right. May the Most High continue to destroy them. All right. Let's bring that out. Hosea chapter 4, verse 3. Cue up the next video.
Khan, this is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 3. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beast of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away.
So let's get this, Scottish island, all right? Biggest mass stranding in decades, okay? And we cannot forget, it's not old news that birds just fell out the sky in Rome. Wasn't that long ago, okay? It's not old news that birds fell out the sky in Mexico. You saw it on video. They just dropped out of the sky. Like, oh, we got to figure out what's going on. Maybe it was fireworks. Maybe it was a lightning strike. There was no clouds in the sky. No celebration with, fireworks to be seen. You know what I'm saying? The Most High has been doing this pretty consistently. You know what I'm saying? If you type in bird kill, fish kill in Google, you're going to see them come up. They're not always on CNN, MSNBC, so forth and so on. But these things are happening very frequently. Okay. Let's see what happened very recently. $77. And now number 7 is completion. So let's continue on. Only 12 whales were alive when they arrived. If anybody's not reading the captions, if you're driving, apologize. But this is just this video just has captions. 77 whales died. Only 12 were alive when they arrived. Very symbolic numbers. All right, so, and it always, you know, you don't get you know, they always say experts believe, experts say, experts said this could be this, it could be that. Just read the scriptures what it is. All right, we're in that time period. Okay. Fish kills, birds falling from the sky. We had a 9/11 pull up and 200 birds ran in a couple days after that. 200 birds ran into the what is it? The World Trade Center. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that in itself is a sign. It's not like something like that happens every day. You know what I mean? But this time period we're living in, you know, whales stranded, fish kills, dolphins stranded, you know, and there's nothing Esau can do about it. And they understand that these are the signs, okay? But now they had to put the experts. Experts say this, experts say that. Well, I wonder if the experts can figure this one out. Now let's talk about Esau, the humans, not humans, but mankind. All right, let's get Sirach chapter 35 and verse 16. Whales stranded on the beach. Edomites stranded on an island. And nobody can find them. It's in Greece. Can't make this up, right? So in Greece, Esau's just coming up missing. You know what I mean? Oh, he was just standing right over there. But which way did he go? Which way did he go? All right. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's bring that out. Sirach chapter 35 and verse 16, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 35 and verse 16. He that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayers shall reach unto the clouds.
So we pray to Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai that, you know, he destroys our enemies. And won't he do it? All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart, till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment.
You know, so the humble pierceth the crowd, the prayers of the humble. You know what I'm saying? And until it happens, we're gonna keep on keeping on. We'll keep on, you know, praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that he takes care of our enemies and destroys them and judges them. Right? Just like Luke 18th chapter, the righteous or the unrighteous judge. You know, and Most High, like, I'm the righteous judge. So, you know, let me know. What do you want? What do you want? You know, during the time of Exodus, what happened? Our ancestors were, you know, crying out to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to avenge us. You know, there's adding more and more work to us, making it more and more difficult. You know, same thing is happening now. So what we do, continue to pray. Continue to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Don't think that your prayers are going unanswered. You follow the Sabbath. You don't eat that garbage food, the bottom feeders, the shrimp, crab, the lobster, the shrimp. You don't eat that stuff, the scallops. You leave all that stuff alone, right? You eat clean foods. You know what I'm saying? You wear your fringes. You know, you keep your beard. Sisters wearing dresses. You do all these things. You do what the Most High asks you to do, what the Most High requires you to do. So when you pray, it's like, hold on, let me, what did he just say? What did she just say? Okay, let's make it happen. You know? It's not you got a belly full of pork and you're like, God, I need you to help me do this. Nah. You follow what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai said and was written. You follow the law. You understand what the prophecies are. Okay? Here you are on this call right now. You could be doing anything right now. You understand? Go ahead. Can you read next verse?
Verse 18. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient toward them, till he have smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous.
All right, so with that in mind, let's watch this next video. Esau he's being snatched up.
Where can he be? I mean, how do you vanish like this? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the words. Nothing adds up.
Well, the mystery is growing in a worldwide travel destination just as the summer vacation travel season picks up. It's been nearly a week now since an American tourist went missing in Greece. In recent weeks, 5 tourists have turned up dead or are missing.
And tonight, the New York Times is reporting an American who was found dead on Sunday was a 55-year-old man from Nassau County. Now to a tragic ending for an American tourist in Greece. The 55-year-old who vanished last week was found dead on a beach. And now Greek authorities are searching for another American tourist, a retired LA County Sheriff's deputy. Retired LA County Sheriff's Deputy Albert Calabut, who went missing earlier this week after setting off on a hike on the island of Amorgos.
Locals report seeing Calabut hiking the day he disappeared, looking strong. An area the retired deputy has hiked several times in the past.
Any case that we do searching for a missing person that we can't find keeps me up at night. Kind of going through what could he have done? What was his thought process? Did he get injured?
Each dot on this map of Greece by Newsweek represents where 6 tourists have vanished or been found dead in 5 areas just this month.
I wouldn't say there's a tie. I think that maybe the consistent factor is the heat that they're experiencing.
Friends and family told CBS News Friday that Calabut visited the island for years and knew the hiking trails.
It doesn't make sense. It's like it's swallowed.
Calibet is one of several tourists who have gone missing on Greek islands in recent weeks. At least 3 people have been found dead, including prominent British TV doctor Michael Mosley.
Dr. Michael Mosley's wife has described her husband as wonderful, funny, kind, and brilliant after his body was found on a Greek island after a 5-day search. Local media made the sad find only metres from a beach bar packed with holidaymakers. The question tonight, how did he end up there?
Holidaygoers know the search is underway, but everyone says the same thing. This island is so small, how can someone simply vanish? He's understood to have left his wife on St. Nicholas Beach at 1:30 on Wednesday to go for a walk back to their accommodation, where he was seen on CCTV. He didn't have his phone on him.
10 minutes later, he passes through Petty Marina. He should have taken an inland path to his accommodation, but he heads in the wrong direction, up a mountain track in scorching heat.
Now, excessive heat warnings have been in place on the island, including on the day he disappeared.
I mean, what is making this so mysterious is trying to figure out, I mean, not only is he a very sensible adult man, but he's a doctor too.
67-year-old world-famous doctor, he's most well known for his myth-busting work on diet and exercise.
Since the 1980s, Michael Mosley has become a trusted voice on health matters, a former medic turned journalist.
It's understood the body and an umbrella was found near a dangerous cave area known as the Abyss. Authorities believe the body is that of the missing presenter.
Dr. Michael Mosley was discovered just metres from safety on the fence line up against a beachside resort. Of course, this search had been going across a wide area for 5 days. Despite helicopter searches, ground teams all over the area, they didn't spot the body of the man that was just so close to so many other holiday makers.
In the end, he was found by accident. It emerged a Greek television crew were filming with the mayor and only noticed the body in their shot when they got back to edit their pictures.
Exactly. That's what the police spokeswoman also said. And the authorities said, well, how can he have been, how can he have been vanished from the face of the earth? It is a small island, search and rescue everywhere, people walking into finding divers, drones. Even there was a thermal imaging drone that is able to detect like heat signatures in the night. Looking through, scouring the island, the sea, the land, how can there be no sign of Dr. Michael Mosley? This is what makes it strange. It's as if he left the island, but obviously if he had left, taken a boat or something, someone would have seen him. They would have seen the news. It's all over the news as well. So where his whereabouts are, it's very strange.
It is indeed. Daphne Tullis, good to see you this morning. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It's extraordinary because he also left without his phone.
Now his disappearance is making news around the world.
Slocky, I don't know what that noise is. Slocky for about that. Couple more minutes. If it doesn't stop, let's go to the next video.
A feeling familiar to Gary Tossell, whose father John went missing on the neighbouring Greek island of Zante 5 years ago.
When I read the story, is a cut and paste of my father. It is, he went for a walk, I'm vanishing in thin air. And obviously as a family, we on the phone, we got together, we like, well, this is surreal.
We have new details tonight in the search for a retired sheriff's deputy missing on a small island in Greece.
Family members have suspended the search for a retired LA County Sheriff's deputy from Hermosa Beach who went missing in Greece last month. 59-year-old Albert Calibet was reported missing on June 11th after going for a hike on the Greek island of Amorgos and then failing to meet a friend for lunch. Family, friends, and volunteers from the sheriff's department have been aiding in the search. His brother says zero evidence of Albert was found on the island, leading him to fear that Albert may have met with foul play.
But Calibet was a frequent visitor to the island and an experienced hiker. Greek police are studying this surveillance video obtained by Mega Live News that appears to show Calibet before his hike. He was supposed to meet a friend for lunch afterwards, but he never arrived.
According to people in Greece, a group of walkers met up Tuesday at 7 a.m. There's confirmation Calibet was seen at 11 a.m. at a small refreshment stand getting water. A friend was waiting at the end of the hike, but Calibet never showed up. The friend started calling him on the phone, but there was no answer. His friend then reported him missing to the local authorities.
He was on a well-traveled path and he was meeting a friend at the end of the path, and he was continuing on his path when somebody saw him an hour later. So now we're able to narrow the search area a little bit because we can go an hour further down the path. You know, it's a 4-hour trail or a 5-hour trail. They should have been able to see him on the trail by now.
It doesn't make sense. It's like it's swallowed.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Okay. And, you know, more to come. Okay. It ain't over yet. It's just getting good. All right. So let's go to Psalms chapter 78 and verse 47. See, Esau's getting snatched up on his island, his Greek island. You know, they got the island of Lesbos over there. Like they're into that. You know what I'm saying? They're into all types of fornication and, you know, bestiality, all that other stuff. So Greece, you know, from their, you know, statues and, you know, the way they operate, you know, their gymnasium, you know, let's work out naked. Who does that? Esau does. So they go over to Greek. They really reverence Greece rather. Those islands, Most High been setting some fires over there as of recently. You know what I mean? I know years back, or year or two back, or whatever like that, the whole island's on fire. They had to hop on boats to get out of there. So the Most High is vexing them and he's snatching them up. Okay, let's continue because we got a lot to go through. All right, I don't want to just stay on one topic. Let's keep on moving so we can, you know, especially save to the end. We're gonna definitely save to the end. And you know, you got to save the best for last, or you know, whatever you want to say that. But let's go to Psalm chapter 78 and verse 47.
Con. It's the book of Psalms chapter 78 and verse 47. He destroyed their vines with hail and their sycamore trees with frost.
Con, go ahead.
He gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to hot thunderbolts.
So as we can see, you know, Most High will destroy you. Go ahead.
He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
So we're talking right now, we're going to get into Oregon, right? Oregon, they have forest fires over there started by thunderbolts. You know what I'm saying? The things that's going over in Oregon, and think about Oregon, like what did Oregon do? Oregon's not like Mississippi. Oregon's not like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, some of these real racist states and stuff. What did Oregon do? Oregon, I guess they pride themselves on not having like a real slave history, rather, right? But you couldn't go in there. You know what I'm saying? Oregon's like, oh no, you black, turn back. Do you know what I'm saying? So right now, you see what's going on with the forest fires over there. And actually plumes of smoke. You know what I mean? Just a pillar of smoke just came out of Oregon and it was 120 miles long. All right. That is, and they don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a volcano erupted. It's like, what is this pillar of smoke that just came out of nowhere? All right. That's happening in Oregon right now. Go ahead.
Time. Verse number 50. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence.
So we're going to talk about the pestilence that's over there. You know what I'm saying? Hepatitis, HIV, the doctors are injecting people over there. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And smote of all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham.
So now we're in the tabernacles of Edom. All right. Destroying these people. Let's continue. Oh, Salakia. And keep in mind, all these, for the most part, have been within a week, these stories. So Most High is destroying these people. Salakia.
For breaking news, we are learning tonight that the actions of a local anesthesiologist may have exposed more than 2,000 patients in the Portland area to HIV or hepatitis. Fox 12 investigative reporter Ezra Kaplan is joining us now with more on this breaking story. Ezra, what can you tell us?
Yeah, both Providence and Legacy Health confirmed today that the actions of a single anesthesiologist may have been responsible for over 2,400 infectious disease exposures. According to the hospitals, the physician had worked for the Oregon Anesthesiology Group, which both hospitals had contracts with. That physician is no longer employed by the group. Providence says that the exposures may have come from that physician not following their internal infection control practices. In a statement to Fox 12, Providence wrote, the actions of this physician might have put patients at a low risk of exposure to possible infections, including hepatitis B and C and HIV. We are notifying approximately 2,200 patients seen at Providence Willamette Falls Medical Center and 2 patients seen at Providence Portland Medical Center. They go on to say that these patients are receiving a mailed letter and or may get a notification in their My Chart. And Legacy shared this statement with us. We are in the process of sending letters notifying 221 patients who may have been impacted. Upon learning of this situation, we immediately suspended the provider and launched a comprehensive investigation. Legacy goes on to say, our community should know that this was an isolated situation involving a single provider contracted with the Oregon Anesthesiology Group to provide care at Legacy Mount Hood Medical Center. And he did that for approximately 6 months, beginning in December of 2023. And the group that employed the physician, Oregon Anesthesiologist Group, shared this statement. When we learned that the physician had violated infection control practices, we suspended him, informed our partners, Legacy Health and Providence, and then began an investigation that resulted in the physician's termination. All 3 groups stressed that their patient safety was their top priority. We're staying on top of this story and working to learn more about just what happened in this situation. And we want to hear from you. If you or someone in your family has been notified of a potential infectious disease exposure, please let us know. You can contact us on our website.
Oh, right, Ezra. How do you get a name like that? Always want to be us, but ain't us. Okay, so, you know, it'll lead you to believe that, of course, you know, this is nothing new. They've been doing this to Jake for a long time. You know what I mean? It's probably all Jake that got exposed to the hepatitis and HIV. Wouldn't be surprising. But looking up Mount Hood, the hospital, okay, it's in Gershom. What's this word? Gresham, Oregon. And I looked up the demographics, and that place has 76% Edomites. You know what I'm saying? So the numbers, it's possible that Esau was the one that got all this hepatitis and HIV, and then possibly spread it around. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know you have hepatitis, you don't know you have HIV, then you could just spread it to husband, wife. You know, Esau's a freak. He's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So Most High definitely gave them that pestilence. All right. They're clearly on a pestilent side of things over there in Oregon. And that's why, you know, we only have 3-point-something% Jake over there, because we weren't allowed to come in Oregon. Well, y'all gonna have to deal with it. And this is an important place for Esau, because over there, Washington, Oregon area, you know, you have your Starbucks, Microsoft. I'm not sure if Microsoft's still up there. I'm assuming so. So they got some big corporations over there, and the Most High send the pestilence. And we're going to get into more pestilence as the night goes on. But let's continue. All right, let's go to Sirach chapter 25 and verse 13. This next video, you know, foul language. There is foul language in here, and this woman curses so much, man. Like, I was all over, you know, obviously now, you know, doing these videos, I had to find one where she's not cursing, you know what I'm saying, where she's just not just talking like heavy, you know what I'm saying. But this is the one that was, you know, I guess the only suitable one. So it's still, she's still cursing in here, but it's about a rapper in Oakland. Okay, but let's bring that out. Sirach chapter 25 verse 13.
This is Sirach 25 and verse 13. Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness, but the wickedness of a woman.
So a woman, especially this woman that talking about, she goes above and beyond. Now, I'll say like the Napoleon complex. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody's like really short. They have to really be as tough, like tougher than everybody and go super hard. You know what I'm saying? Like Napoleon, you know what I mean? In Goodfellas, the Joe Pesci character, that was a real person. His name was like Tony Spilotro, or no, not Spilotro. What's his name? Tony something. They call him the Ant. And, you know, he had to be extra violent because he's in a violent criminal enterprise and he's the shortest person out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's similar to that. And you probably experienced that. If your supervisor was a woman or something to that nature, she feels she has to be, you know, not all of them, you know what I'm saying? Not every woman, but so you have to be extra, you know what I'm saying? I got to be extra aggressive because I'm in a man-dominated field, so I have to go hard, you know what I'm saying? So in this situation, you know, it's not like men don't do what she's doing, but she really, like, it seemed like she was going overboard in a lot of cases. You know, just about my drill rapper, you know, Fulio just got killed, right? And he's having his music videos laying on graveyards and stuff like that. Bull's totally off. Had a song called, you know, Dead Ops. He named 50 people. Totally off. You know what I mean? This sister right here, she was carrying around. I don't even want to, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it. Okay. Let's continue on. Can you go ahead can you read the next verse?
Sirach 25 and verse 14. And any affliction, but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge, but the revenge of enemies.
So the Most High, you're gonna see in this clip, the Most High returned the favor. Like this thing that she was doing, the Most High got her back. She had enemies, and the enemies caught up with her on like one of the one of the best days of her life. You know what I'm saying? The Most High will wait it out, see if you're gonna repent. And now you partying, having a good time, like Fulio. He's having a good time. It's his birthday. Everybody look at me, check me out. What happened? Most High gunned him down that night. Go ahead. Can you read the next verse?
Verse number 15. There is no head above the head of a serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy.
All right. So let's, like I said, full disclosure. She has a foul mouth, man. So anytime they interview her, just suspect 4 or 5 curses coming out immediately. You know what I'm saying? So got children in the room, might want to just ear muff it, okay? And let's watch this video.
Oakland rapper Tan the God shot and killed at her meet and greet.
Thank you, Gail. A local female rapper was killed in a shooting in Oakland. This was Saturday during the grand opening of a beauty store. Another person was injured. Police are still trying to find the shooter. KRON 4's Sarah Stinson has that story.
Family and friends gathered outside Glamour Beauty Supply in Oakland Sunday, many in tears as they paid tribute to local.
Also, let's get Jeremiah 31 and 22 on deck. Jeremiah 31 and 22.
Local female rapper and entrepreneur Tan the God. They confirmed to KRON 4 she was shot and killed at a grand opening event for the beauty store Saturday. Tan posted on Instagram just before the shooting.
Here, I got Granny in the cut. Don't play with it.
She also promoted the event a week before, saying she would be at Glamour Beauty for a meet and greet. Shots rang out at the strip mall on 40th Street and Telegraph Avenue around 5 p.m. People ran into this donut shop to take cover.
I heard some shooting. I thought it was part of like their music or.
A man who works there, who does not want to be identified, described the chaotic scene.
I just saw like 2 or 3 people start running into my store and like, you know, they're shooting. And people started pulling out of the parking lot and people were just running around. So, and as soon as I stepped outside, the cops were pretty much already here.
Oakland police say when they arrived, paramedics found one gunshot victim who died at the hospital. Another gunshot victim arrived at a nearby hospital sometime later. Police say that person is expected to be okay. They're still working to identify the shooter. No arrests have been made. A man who works at a Korean restaurant nearby witnessed the shooting.
Just this guy with the hoodie came by and started shooting. And that was it. And he just ran away. The police came.
Bay Area rapper and philanthropist Mr. Fab posted about the shooting, saying he was booked to be at the same event, but, quote, God had different plans. He also posted saying he would always remember Tan as a hustling go-getter with a world of ambition, drive, and courage.
The people have so many questions. But first, how did we get here? Tan the God went viral for killing her ex-boyfriend after a domestic dispute that she claimed was self-defense.
Here lies my ex. Listen, you should have never died. you should have never played with me, because then I gotta take you to the 3rd degree, you know?
Okay, let's bring that out. Jeremiah 31, verse 22.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
So we look at that word compass. You know what I mean? Of course, in society, you know, Willie Lynch, you know, they make sure that they put the woman over the man and breaks up the family. And you know, that's something we understand. But also in this mute your phone. Okay, so in this situation, she's compassing the man as far as, you know, on a level of evil, man. She's doing an interview and having a tombstone of her dead ex-boyfriend right next to her. And she said it, you mess with me, I'll take it to the 3rd degree. Like, she has to go further. You know what I mean? You're shooting your video in a graveyard. I'm going to bring the graveyard to the interview. You know what I'm saying? And look at her name, Tan the God. She's, you know, thinks God is a woman. You know what I'm saying? The black woman is God, you know? But let's continue. And keep in mind, you know, her mouth is terrible. But, you know, to get a full understanding of what happened, you know, like, why would they kill this woman? Look what she's been doing for the past years.
Like, so when I look at this little tombstone, I be like, man, it's like, it's crazy. So September 23rd is like the day I dropped Pond and Top. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put that on there. Well, not really. Really, it's 3 years ago I dropped Pond and Top. It's like the anniversary, and I just happen to have court on this day. Everything just came together. So I got this to be extra fucking childish, making families mad. Oh well, because they ain't gonna do shit about it.
Smoking on that Axwood pack.
Oh yeah, you know it. Matter of fact, I got the smoke on this dead motherfucker as we speak. Hold up. Hold on. Let me get my little backwood.
After this tragic situation, you would think that Tan would be sad and grieving. But she was the opposite. After going back and forth to court, she posted a mixtape cover of her and her deceased boyfriend replacing his head for a blunt. And she said, "'Cause I be smoking on my ex, that relationship is dead, just like him. Trolling till I'm on or on parole. September 23rd is my diss to my deceased ex. I'ma drop on y'all head. I start working overtime to get y'all something. Y'all gonna love me for this. And if I'm convicted, y'all better protest. Free Tan, man." But she made diss tracks about her ex-boyfriend, laughed, and bragged about killing him on interviews. And the day she popped out, After promoting what she was gonna be for a week, she was shot and killed. Let's look back at some moments where she explained what happened. But before I do, I just want to say this. Nothing good never came from dissing the dead, no matter if he was in the right or the wrong. Because let's be honest, even though this man was putting his hands on her, even though she was a victim at one point, this man still have people that love him, still have friends and gang members that love him. So they willing to get revenge. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free. Do it for me.
That's the thing, like dead ass nigga, like you're dead. Like, yeah, that shit dead as fuck. Dead.
Are we talking about like literally? Or are we talking figuratively? I don't know what the hell's going on.
Lord did tell me not to talk about
Okay, you shouldn't talk about things like that.
it. But fuck them. Sometimes you really don't have a choice. Like, I know females that never had a choice. And they was just dude popping up and threatening the whole family. And you threatening my people, everybody gonna die. Oh, is we? You gotta take them out. You gotta take them out. And it just is what it is. Like, if somebody make an attempt on your life or even make any weird ass type of threatening weirdo.
One thing that I do have to ask is like, how are you not afraid of like police or did they like side with you on it? Like, how did you evade like any type of like consequence basically?
We gonna find that out on September 23rd.
Okay.
Promo alert.
All right, so Tan the God, she, times where she's feeling great, open up a beauty shop. You see all the Koreans there. The one guy said, I heard shooting. I thought it's part of their video. Like, damn, that's what they think. Like, part of it's not part of our culture, but it's pushed to be part of our culture, hip hop or whatever. Like to the point where I think gunshots is just the norm, it's unfortunate. But you know what I mean? She opened up something, all the Korean business stores all around her. She's a so-called Black business owner, a beauty shop. And, it was probably a big day. She was promoted for a week and she got killed, you know what I'm saying? Pushing that evil vibration out there, you know what I'm saying? Laughing at the dead, I don't see how this became part of our culture, but the Most High is taking care of it. As you can see, Fulio, Tan the God, whatever her name is, but the Most High is taking care of business. All right, and let's continue. Okay, let's go. Let's get Psalm chapter 76 and verse 12. So this story came out, and a lot of controversies around it. Oh, whoa, a lot of controversy. But let's break things down though. Let's break it down. We sit here, we pray, the end of these classes, we on our feast days, Most High avenge us of our enemies. You know what I'm saying? The people that oppress us. So when it happens, some brothers be like, and sisters be like, nah, I don't believe it. Nah. You know what I mean? Because who would think that something like this would happen? In our lifetime, unless you were around during the Reagan era and, were old enough to understand what happened. This hasn't happened in your lifetime, but all praise to the Most High. Things have changed. Okay, let's bring that out. Psalm chapter 76 and verse 12.
Khan, it's the book of Psalms chapter 76 and verse 12. He shall cut off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth.
You know what I mean? In reality, we are the kings. You know what I'm saying? We're kings. What's going on, King? Shalom, King. You know what I mean? But and right now, Esau's the king. You know what I mean? We're not standing on the horse. We're walking. But the Most High is terrible. Okay, he's terrible. He ain't no joke. Ain't nobody want to play with him. He said, I'm like Jesus, the way they're crucifying me. Oh, yeah. So what the Most High does for him?
Well, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened. On you. Ready? Move! Up! Move! Go! We ready?
Let's get Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 15. You know, a lot of people saying he had a ketchup packet. And you know, one sister was on there. It went pretty much viral. She said, I'm from Brooklyn. I ain't, you know what I mean? I know what gunshots sound like. Yeah, well, that's a sniper rifle. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. It has a little suppressor on it, Slovakia. And you know, he wasn't the only one that got shot. It was the fire chief died, and 2 other people got shot. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know I'm a conspiracy theorist as well, but sometimes some things are just right in your face. You know, the Secret Service would play it out and people would just be screaming for no reason. He really had a dye pack on his ear, like he moved at the same time. But if you look at you know, they lined it up. Like you can see, matter of fact, I'm rewinding. You can see when he changes he moves his head, his whole back of his head should have been gone. You know what I mean? He changes direction right before the shot is fired, or you hear the shot, because a sniper rifle, that bullet's long gone until you actually hear the shot. So watch how he changes his head. I mean, he moves his head right before the shot.
Take a look at what happened.
See? Run again.
Take a look at what happened.
Oh. Now let's bring that out. Sirach chapter 27 and verse 15.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse number 15. The strife of the proud is bloodshedding, and their revilings are grievous to the ear.
So, you know, no one wants to hear Trump, you know, always talking and everything like that. You know what I mean? Always talking crazy. Of course, Esau loves to, he's a violent man. You know what I'm saying? They'll stand in line for 5 hours to hear him say something crazy. You know what I mean? And he really wants to make America great again, which is, of course, to make America white again. So people talked about this at length, like, yo, somebody's gonna take him out. Somebody's gonna take him out. So when somebody actually tries to do it, everybody's like, nah, I don't believe it. It can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Even though you pretty much see it with your own eyes. Okay. Let's continue on with the screams in the background and we'll move on. Let's get Sirach 25 and 2, Bubble Shaw.
Move! Up! Move! Go! We ready? Are we good? Shoot us down. Are we good to move? Let's move. Let's move. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes. Hold on, your head. Bloody. So we gotta move to the class. Watch out.
Yeah, see that? He's gonna win the election. He was gonna win anyway, but you know what I mean? I don't think he would pull this off, and the Secret Service and hospitals and actually people that got shot at the rally to win. He was gonna win anyway. Jim Crow Joe Biden can't even find his way off a stage. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has a chance of winning. You know what I mean? It's people that have been diehard Democrats, like, I don't know who I'm voting for. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that bad. All right, but the Most High has a controversy with these Edomites. Okay, the things that come out of his mouth and how he's exalting himself. Let's bring that out. Sirach chapter 25 and verse 2.
It's Sirach chapter 25 and verse 2. 3 sorts of men my soul hateth, and I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar, and an old adulterer that doteth.
So he's two out of the 3. You know what I mean? And in reality, he's poor in spirit. So we could probably say 3 out of 3. So the Most High hates this guy. You know what I mean? The fact that he turned his head just a little bit and it hit his ear, the Most High has plans for him. His vice president that he picked wants to go to war with Iran. He said, man, we can't just smack Iran. We got to tear them up and bomb them and this, that, and the third. So they're all about war. They're all about division. They're all about taking us further, deeper into World War III. All praises to the Most High. Let's get it on, But, things that have occurred, let me see. Let's get Ezekiel 33 and 4. All right. Which led me to believe that, this was something serious, and we gotta not just, immediately see something and say, oh, that's fake. You know what I mean? You got to do your research, Israel. I know a lot of people were saying that COVID's fake. I shouldn't even said the word because they could flag the video, right, for medical misinformation. But I'm not saying it is. People have got it. I have gotten it. I didn't get tested for it, but I know it was different than any flu. You know what I'm saying? Different than anything else I ever had. So this thing went around the world and it affected people's breathing. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't in shape, it could take you out of here. Even if you weren't in shape, still take people out of here because it messed up with your breathing. Okay, so brothers and sisters that came out was like, nah, man, ain't no such thing as that. That's a lie. It's really the flu and da da da. You might want to listen and remember the people that were saying that and not listen to them to the extent that you are. Like, it's some people that don't believe in anything. That's what it comes down to. Some people don't believe in anything. Nothing happened. It was all 5G. Oh, you believe that was a shooting? Nah, man, somebody threw a firecracker 8 times or whatever like that and just happened to put a dead body on top of a roof, you know what I'm saying, with blood coming out from them. And if you're wrong about one thing, you can be wrong about something else, So keep in mind, somebody tried to take this dude's head off. And let's bring that out. Ezekiel 33, verse 4.
It's Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
So right before camp, right? I was sitting in my dining room area, right? And I could hear a trumpet going on and on upstairs in the hallway. I swore it was my rib playing this song over and over again. But I'm like, how is she doing this? You know what I mean? And it didn't hit me until I'm on my way to camp and I hear the song come on in, let me see if I can put it on here. I hear the song put on in my Slack, let me see. While I'm on my way to camp. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, it was a trumpet. It was a trumpet going over and over, just constantly making that noise. Okay. So like I said, let me see if I can find it. I'm not gonna play this song because I don't own the rights to this music. I don't own the rights to this music. All right, here it is. It was an Outkast song, right? And it was trumpets constantly. Okay. All right. So real quick, I'm gonna put this on. So just so you hear what I'm hearing constantly over and over again, just before he got shot. Right there. And it's kept looping. I'm like, how is she even doing this? How is this possible? But she didn't have her phone on. She didn't play it. None of my son had their phone on. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, it's like literally a trumpet that nobody in the hallway is playing. And that sounds very weird, I understand, but this is the time period we living in. Supernatural things will happen like that. So since it did, I'm just bringing it out during the lesson to say that was literally a trumpet. You know what I mean? This time period is crazy. And as I further go on with the lesson, you're going to see that these white supremacists are really coming out in full force. So it's like, really pay attention. Let you know, I heard a trumpet. You know what I mean? If you do not take heed, you do not pay attention when you're out here in these streets, if you are in the midst of your sin and thinking that's a good thing and I'm gonna be all right, I got time, I'm here to tell you that I don't think that's the case at all. You know what I mean? It's definitely a time period where you want to repent and come back to these law, statutes, commandments in full force, because these Edomites they don't have to get like a text that says, oh, it's time to turn up. They're doing it now. They understand the time period we living in. We got to understand it as well. All right. So now let's get First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 41. And let me get the next video queued up. All right. And you know, where was this place at? Butler, PA, Butler Township, PA. If anybody's from Pennsylvania, you understand there's only like a few places you can really go if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, and be safe. And you can't even be safe there because the cops will shoot you down, so forth and so on. People from these neighboring counties and stuff come to Philadelphia, have been caught shooting police officers, shooting Jake, robbing Jake. You know what I'm saying? So they know all they had to do is hop on the highway, an hour here, 2 hours here, come to Philadelphia, shoot somebody, because if you get shot in certain places in Philadelphia, right? Not the rich places, right? Like Rittenhouse, places like that, Lower Marion, which is outside of Philadelphia. You go to North Philly, West Philly, you know what I mean? You shoot somebody, cops don't care. Like, another nigga got killed. Probably, you know, probably he's in a gang, sprinkle some drugs on him, stuff like that. But Esau will come down here and lay you out. And they have done that. And they continue to do it because the other surrounding counties are very racist. Philadelphia has a big, large concentration of white supremacist organizations. Okay. And literally directly outside of Philadelphia. So when you go to places like Butler, you can imagine when it says 99% white, 96% Edomites or whatever like that, that's not because Jake doesn't want to live there. Jake can't live there. They will put a cross on your lawn. They will burn your house down. They will shoot you. They'll do anything in their power to get you out of there. Okay. And Butler's one of those places. And we're going to look at some of the surrounding areas that you know, this racism is prevalent. Okay, let's bring that out. First Maccabees 3 and 41.
Con. This is First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 41. And the merchants of the country, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold very much, with servants, and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves. A power also of Syria and of the land of Philistines joined themselves unto them.
So you gotta understand, it's not just Esau. You have East Indians, you got Arabs, whatever that live amongst the Edomites, and the Edomites are just like the main force in their racism. Like, you know what I mean? We want to bring these guys right back to a time where it was just us and we ran everything, and they were doing all the work, and they were enslaved. They loved that. Okay. Go ahead, read verse 42.
Verse 42. Now, when Judas and his brethren saw that the miseries were multiplied, and that the forces did encamp themselves in their borders, for they knew how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them.
So, you know, we're over here in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, tri-state area. We're encamped. They have encamped around us. You know what I'm saying? Your neighborhood might be predominantly Jake, but 20 minutes that way is all Esau, and then hour that way and 2 hours that way. We're surrounded by these people. Okay. We got brothers and sisters in New Jersey that live amongst the most racist township in all, I think, like all the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Definitely in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So that goes with the police, the fire chief. That's why when this fire chief got smoked at the Trump rally, it's like, what was he into? You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's trying to save his family and this, that, and the third. Of all those people, he's the one that got hit and died. You know, so who knows what his background was? You know, it doesn't have to be terrible or whatever like that, because Esau. But at the same time, 9 times out of 10, it probably was. Okay. So this is what we deal with in Pennsylvania. So the people in Butler, you gotta understand, they're way off. But let me just keep going.
We begin with a look at the unsettling number of hate groups in Pennsylvania, including neo-Nazis, white supremacists, Holocaust deniers, and Black separatists. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, 36 hate groups.
Apparently, we would be considered Black separatists in their eyes. But check out when they talk to Jake, right? You might look at him and be like, look at this guy. This dude, he doesn't play no games when it comes to talking about some Black separatists. He knows who's the one lynching and shooting and killing and doing all the other things. And they ain't got nothing to do with us.
Groups are active in Pennsylvania alone. The center says there are 21 in New Jersey, 3 in Delaware. Some of the groups have been linked to the Capitol riots in Washington. With me now is Chad Lassiter. He's the executive director of the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission. The office enforces Pennsylvania's civil rights laws, including bias and hate crimes. Thanks so much for being with us, Chad.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about that number, that 36 hate groups. Give us your perspective on that.
Not surprising when you look at this in context that a lot of things have changed from an economic dislocation perspective, where from an economy perspective, we've had the railroad industry, we've had steel, we've had mill towns and things of that nature. And now some of those industries are gone. And then also when we look at the cultural sameness, that oftentimes we think of Pennsylvania in an urban context, but in theory, it's more rural than anything. And so in some of those suburban enclaves and some of those rural enclaves, there are people who, not generalizing or stereotyping, have bought into the myth of white victimhood that they've been left behind.
But 36 seems like a lot when you compare it to New Jersey and Delaware.
Yeah, but if you compare it in close proximity to Ohio, it trends. I understand your point, but given the context of our democracy and the scapegoat hypothesis where there are some white individuals who are angry, who really believe in white victimhood, who are seeing the expressions of the investment of whiteness being exposed, there are individuals who are looking at individuals like the Jewish community, the African-American community, looking at faith communities, looking at the LGBT community, and they begin to trend with this scapegoat hypothesis, as well as the innate, embedded, deeply rooted anger of white supremacy.
And are some of them, I'm sure some of them are new, but in terms of the ones that we've come to know, sadly, and the older ones, like the Ku Klux Klan, is it that they've just been under the radar for so long, or is it truly that they are resurging?
Great question. I think it's both and. I think that they still operate under the guise of the shadow of hate. And I think that the outgoing president actually gave an opportunity for white supremacist groups, not just in Pennsylvania, but throughout the United States of America, to resurge. But I think we have to be careful not to buy into the historical notion of the Ku Klux Klan with the white hoods. Charlottesville taught us that those individuals who were spewing anti-Semitic remarks, targeting African Americans, LGBT, they look like they could be our doctors, our lawyers, our pediatricians. They look like they could be our college professors or even our pastors. And in fact, they were. And so we have the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan in Pennsylvania. We have active recruiting that has taken place in Carlisle, PA, in York, PA. Our organization, the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission, we've been front and center where we had a no hate in the state town hall in York, PA, and the Grand Dragon of the Hershey KKK, he attended.
How'd that go?
Well, it was one of those things where he wanted to speak, and as the executive director and a person that just believes in seeing the humanity in all, even though they may be fraught with a form of white fragility, he wanted to speak, and I obliged. And much to the crowd's amazement, they were murmuring, and I said, we have to see his humanity as well. It wasn't really about First Amendment rights. It was really about, even in the midst of his white supremacist ideology and white supremacist identity, I really saw a human being, albeit all of the pillars of contradictions of the things that he said. But we were nervous. We were on edge. We actually had the mayor of York call for the police to come, and the police did show up.
So that leads me to my next question. How do we deal with these groups? You mentioned they're being monitored, but how do we curb what they could possibly do?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to fundamentally understand is that there is a shadow of hate, that there is white supremacy activity, and there is anti-Semitic activity and all types of forms of unlawful discrimination and hate with these groups. And so law enforcement works in conjunction with, on a federal level, as well as a national and local level, works with committed organizations and committed activists to really expose who they are. The other thing that is a phenomenon that we're starting to see trend is a paradigm shift, where there are ex-Ku Klux Klan members, there are ex-Nazi fascist individuals who now are telling the story of why they joined. And so I don't have an answer for how we can, rid the democracy. But one of the things that we do recognize is that there's a introduction of more women joining these organizations in the modern era, but historically they've always been there. There had been white women in the 1920s that made up a major chapter of the Ku Klux Klan in Lancaster, PA.
And why are we seeing it now?
Well, I think that it doesn't separate across gender. There are people who are mad on all sides of the color line and gender line. And we saw a lot of those women who were down in the state capitol on January 6th for that insurrection. And I think that once again, it goes back to all of these phenomena, the cultural sameness, that some people are racially socialized to believe that others should be treated in an inferior standpoint and that they should be in a superior perspective. I think that, the main thing that we want to get across to people is that when you see these things, reach out to local officials, reach out to local law enforcement.
Yeah, reaching out to local law enforcement, but the local law enforcement is the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. So when you go up there, it's more like, like you've ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you haven't seen it, then I don't mean you have to go out and see it, but in that, it's actually based on a level of truth. And in these places, if something does happen and you call the police and the police show up, that's their best friends. Like, Jimmy, what are you doing out here bothering these niggers? You know what I'm saying? Or, a lot, like down south with the Freedom Riders, the police will pull them over, take them out, search their car, put handcuffs on them. And then a couple minutes later, that's when the Klan shows up to take them. They already have handcuffs that the cops put on them. And later on, they get lynched. You know what I'm saying? And that I say that because it was, documented cases then. Now you see Jake hanging from a tree and he has bruise marks on him. He's 10 foot up in the air. How do you get that high up there to hang yourself? And it's like a couple feet away from the fire, the police and fire building. You know what I mean? Fire station rather. So go into your local law enforcement, in these towns is can be a death sentence as well. So this is something that happened in Butler recently. This was last January 2023.
A billboard in Butler County is bringing attention that neighbors say no one wants. Slide after slide of hate speech. Tonight, a group of community members held a meeting trying to figure out what, if anything, can be done about it. Royce Jones is here with more on that. Royce.
Hi, Ken. So some of the messages on this billboard are so offensive that we're being really selective and careful about what we're even going to show you. Those who joined that meeting tonight say that they're sick of driving past it and they don't want their kids seeing it anymore either. Some are considering coming at this with their own signs promoting unity and acceptance, while others are plotting a much more serious approach through the legal system. From the YWCA office in Butler and via Zoom, dozens of people, including clergy members, community members, and advocacy groups, were part of a call to action Wednesday night, discussing possible solutions on how to permanently pull the plug on this digital billboard in Butler County.
As I've said to some other people, with the messaging that we all saw on the billboard, that is absolutely an affront to personal dignity to those in our community. We thought it was important to give everyone an opportunity to come together.
People who joined the meeting agree that the hate speech on this billboard is not what their community represents. According to the YWCA, the owner of the billboard has been at this since 2019 and owns another one in Armstrong County. The signs have made local news in the past for the response that they provoke. The privately owned billboard also sits on private property, but displays very public messages pushing anti-Semitism, homophobia, and even anti-government rhetoric, despite the fact that the government and the First Amendment are likely the only things preventing the billboard from being taken down, leaving people to brainstorm what can be done to counter the messages and show others that this billboard doesn't represent Butler.
Go into court and file an injunction, although we would not be able to have the billboard taken down, but have this hate speech removed from it.
And while incidents of hate speech like this are protected by the First Amendment, hate crimes are not. The YWCA sharing state police data that shows in 2020.
So look at that. You look at the third one down, right? Well, one, anti-Semitic flyers distributed in Squirrel Hill, Mount Lebanon, Oakmont, right? The third one down, the SPLC reports Verluti, I don't know if I'm saying that right, white supremacist and anti-Semitic hate organization, the National Justice Party has a chapter located in Butler. Okay, so when you look up, I looked up that National Justice Party, they're all over. It's a gang, you know what I'm saying? So, Slakia. Violent is extremely severe or harmful effects. Okay. So they're severe. They're the real deal. So the people that are lining up for 3, 4, 5 hours, I've been here for 3 days to see Trump down there in Butler. These people are white supremacists. They're not telling the National Justice Party you can't come in here. No, they all up in that joint, right? So when gunshots rang out and people get hit and trauma is just exploding over there, and people are getting death threats over there in Butler because they're saying you people messed up and, let this guy walk a mile with a ladder and a rifle and sit up on top of a roof and shoot at the president. They're getting death threats right now, and the police saw this guy 3 hours beforehand. They noticed him 3 hours beforehand. This dude had a ladder and a rifle. Can you imagine you walking up to a mile within the president, walking a mile with a ladder and a rifle and Secret Service like, go ahead, you got it. So that's one thing that people are saying like, yo, this is weird. You know what I mean? It's, conspiracy theories are running wild, but at the same time, it makes sense. Like, not that it was faked, but they allowed this person to do it. Like, they don't like this guy. You know what I mean? Trump comes at the intelligence committee. I mean, intelligence agencies like the FBI and the CIA. He talks crazy about them in his speeches. You know what I'm saying? And he's talked about, I'm going to get rid of this war in in Ukraine. You know, I'm going to stop this war before you take office in January if I'm elected. You know what I mean? And Putin said, we appreciate that. You know what I mean? I hope he'll be able to do something like that. We'll definitely take notice. So think about Lockheed Martin, Boeing, all these billion-dollar companies like, oh, whoa, if you stop, then we're not going to be able to make money in this war, and sending all these troops and tanks, not troops, tanks and missiles and planes and everything like that, and getting the American dollar to revive the stuff we're sending back. We're making hand over fist money. And he's saying we're going to not do that no more. So think about it like that. He pissed a lot of people off. So let's continue. We're going to the next video. Almost done, y'all. I got a couple more. Let's go to Isaiah 59 verse 19. And we'll finish this video out.
21, there were 284 hate crimes reported in PA, which is a record high. Data from the Anti-Defamation League also showing that last year had the highest number of anti-Semitic incidents in 40 years, with about 7 reported incidents per day across the country. Obviously, many people fear that this hate speech displayed on the billboard will only increase the hate crimes in the community. Multiple people said that they are seriously considering taking this to court and are also planning on responding by protesting and boycotting any businesses of this owner or anyone who has anything to do with his billboard. Ken.
Now to a developing story.
All right. We're going to get to that. We are going to get to that. Okay. So where was this place at? A very racist place. And when gunshots go off at places that are very racist, I'm not going to pray for them. You know what I mean? I'm not, hey, things happen, you know? But, and the fact that the Most High didn't kill Trump is just revving up his base even more, putting him on a pedestal that the Most High is with him. Brother was bringing this out today, and that's just going to you know, push them more into mobilization. And how dare these people try to take out my president, you know? So they're getting ready, and that's what these videos now are talking about. They're definitely getting ready. In the next video, you're going to see that they're definitely getting ready. You know what I'm saying? A lot of blackouts going on around the world as far as the energy sector goes. And you remember at one point in time, it was happening almost on a daily basis. People were going around shooting transformers out, and so forth and so on. What makes you think that's not happening right now? This next video is going to prove that it is. Okay, let's bring that out. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When an enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him.
So when it talks about the standard, put them to flight. All right. Most High is going to put these dudes to flight and give us the power to do it. Right. So what we got to do is, I don't want it to be cliche, but we got to follow these law, statutes, commandments. You know, we got to not sin. You know, stay away from sin. Most High going to put the spirit on us to get these dudes out of here, because guess what? They are mobilizing. They have the weapons. They have the ammunition. They got the bombs. They got all that. You know what I mean? This 20-year-old had a daggone sniper rifle and took shots at the president. You know, this next video we want to put on, this dude is 18. And look at all the stuff that he planned on doing and where he planned on going afterwards. Like, main man was ready for war. All right. So we got to be ready at all times as well. All right. Let's go.
Story in New Jersey, an 18-year-old man
Slocky.
Now to a developing story in New Jersey, an 18-year-old man accused of plotting to blow up PSE&G substations.
Federal agents say they took him into custody after he unknowingly revealed his plan to an undercover law enforcement officer. News 4's Pat Battle has the disturbing details.
Federal authorities say this PSE&G electrical substation off Route 27 in New Brunswick was one of two that Andrew Takistov had allegedly targeted, even visiting this site with a man he recruited to help destroy it. Only that man turned out to be an undercover agent.
It was in Scout with my kid.
Boy Scout?
Boy Scout, yeah. And he was pretty good. He's an Eagle Scout.
How do you wrap your head around this then?
I don't know. That's a big surprise, yeah.
What could have transpired to take 18-year-old Andrew Takistov from a one-time Eagle Scout to an alleged terrorist? Incomprehensible to Minesh Christian. He lives across the street from the family in this quiet East Brunswick neighborhood. Takistov's father declined to talk to News 4 when we went to the house 2 days after federal agents descended on the home where the 18-year-old allegedly concocted a plan to blow up 2 PSE&G facilities and chatted online with an undercover law enforcement officer about his plans.
It looks more like, aspirational more than operational. But you have to go there. You have to check his home. You have to interview his friends. You have to see his online presence. These are going to be the things that to try to pick up communications and see again who put this idea in his head.
Federal authorities had been monitoring Takistov and his online activity for months. U.S. Attorney for New Jersey Philip Selinger saying in a statement that, quote, his post referenced Adolf Hitler, encouraged violence against Black and Jewish communities, praised mass shooters, and discussed causing death and destruction on a large scale.
It is chilling. And also the element here that struck me is that he wanted to attack critical infrastructure. And typically what these recruits who are new to this type of an effort, they want to go shoot somebody. They want to plant a bomb, that type of thing. To attack critical infrastructure is usually more of a institutional perspective.
Takistov was arrested at Newark Liberty International Airport, reportedly on his way to Paris, then on to Ukraine, and eventually to Russia, where federal agents say he planned to hook up with a Nazi military group for more training.
Just think that, that's kind of a mindset is there. Just crazy.
Such a young age.
Such a very young age, yeah. I mean, I feel for his parents, yeah.
A PSE&G spokesperson.
See, I had to pause a little bit. Like, I feel for, man, probably learned that stuff from his parents. He's like, I feel for, his parents. Yeah, I guess that's the politically correct thing to say. But realizing this dude's 18, he probably learned it from his father. Just slammed the door in the reporter's face.
And says, of course, the utility takes security and protection very seriously and that they were actively engaged with the FBI, adding that the majority of its electrical substations have redundancies built in the event that something like that happens and that its staff is highly trained and prepared to address any potential impact.
So what they want to do, he wants to turn off the lights. So you got to be prepared for stuff like this because that's something that they've been attacking. And it's just not talked about a lot. So make sure you have your flashlight on deck because Esau, trust and believe, Esau does dry runs. They're not just like willy-nilly, let me go out, hey, let's do it tonight, man. Nah, they do dry runs, seeing how people react. One time, the Proud Boys said they're coming to march in Southwest Philly. So we went there to rebuke them, and they never showed up. But they literally did because they were the people that were recording us saying had like a press badge on, like, yo, so who are you guys? And you're like, well, we're this, that, and the third, reading the Bible and this, that, and the third. That was them. That was the Proud Boys. So they do their reconnaissance. They know who we are. You know what I'm saying? So when the lights go out, they're not just aiming for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be very aware. We got to be very aware in the time period that we living in. Okay. So now that we got that out the way with with Esau and the stuff that they're going to do and the stuff they're aiming, they're not going to do, stuff they're aiming to do. Okay. Let's see how the Most High is combating them. Let's go to Acts chapter 2, verse 19. I got a couple more videos, y'all. But this is the as they say, the meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? All is put together. The Most High is not slack. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is not traveling somewhere. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is actively engaged in this. Okay. And we're going to have evidence of that. All right, let's bring that out. Acts chapter 2 and verse 19.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 19. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke.
So there's signs in the heavens. We're about to check that out. Not right now, but signs in the earth. We're gonna check that out right now. Okay. Blood, you got the daggone president bleeding. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, hold on. You want to be a sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? You want to put some blood on your ear? You think you an Israelite? You think you Jesus? Okay. Blood on what's the Leviticus 8th chapter talk about the consecration of the priests, put the blood, the sacrifice of the ram, put the blood on the ear, on your big toe and everything like that. His shoe came off, blood on his ear, blood on his fist. Oh yeah, the Most High is mocking him. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is going to destroy him, you know what I'm saying? But allow him to do what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And right now, he's clearly, just him being alive right now is dividing the nations even more. The fact that the Operation Mockingbird CIA came out and said, oh, by the way, Trump wants to get Iran has a price on Trump's head, but Iran had a price on Trump's head since 2020 when he killed Soleimani. One of the lawmakers put $3 million on his head, right? So why are they saying that now after the assassination? And then they say, oh, that has nothing to do with what just happened, though. So they're actively engaged in trying to take him out. You know what I'm saying? During the RNC, they found somebody walking with a daggone AK-47, I believe. All right. But let's see what the Most High is doing right on the earth. We'll start with Colorado. Slovakia.
Mysterious monoliths have been popping up all over the world.
And we talked about this already. So if you're like, man, you still talking about that monolith? It's for a reason. Okay. It's talking about this and then what happened as a result.
In recent years, some in Nevada, California, Wales, and Romania.
And now apparently you can add northern Colorado to the list. Skyfox overhead the newest monolith just this afternoon, and nobody knows where it came from as of now. Fox 31's Gabby Easterwood found out it is the talk of the town. All new at 9:30.
At Howling Cow Cafe in Bellevue, it's been spectator upon spectator upon spectator coming in. Not for the coffee.
So it's right up there on the hill.
But for this.
I like strange and I like awesome. Those are both kind of describing the last few days.
Directly adjacent to the shop and dairy farm sits the newly erected monolith. Howling Cow's owner, Lori Graves, says it's on part of their farm property, but she didn't even know it was there until a customer came in asking about it.
It was Sunday morning when somebody came into the cafe and said, "Where's the monolith? Where's the alien monolith?" I haven't measured it, but it's way higher than my reach and probably wider than this. And it's made of metal. I did knock on it and it didn't take me anywhere.
Now they're leaning into the hype.
We thought if these people are going to keep coming, we may as well play with it, make some kind of fun drinks. And
they're having a bit of fun while still wondering who is behind this mysterious structure. That mystery just might be Graves's favorite part.
I have ideas, but I almost don't want to ruin the mystery around it. I'm not going to ask people, but it's been fun. I don't know. I'd like to say thank you to them, but I don't know who.
Esau, you have no idea. No clue whatsoever. Now let's get Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 5. Okay, because it ain't over. You know what I'm saying? So we seen that was like 2 weeks ago. And normally when you see something like that, you see chariots in the sky, there's going to be a judgment that follows close behind. So that's about 2 weeks ago that happened. Now what's happening today in Colorado? Let's talk about it. Hold that. Habakkuk 3 and 5. Let's play the next video. I'll speed it up a little bit.
Health alert. 4 more confirmed cases of bird flu have been identified in workers in Colorado, with a 5th case pending. The state health department says all the workers were responding to the avian flu outbreak at a commercial egg layer operation. Their tests are now headed to the CDC for confirmation. 3 workers have mild symptoms, including pink eye. None have been hospitalized. Public health officials are stressing that it is safe to eat cooked poultry products at
Now they're saying, of course, this is safe. You know, don't worry about it. It's okay. Yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. But keep in mind, bird flu was just affecting birds. When it transfers over to humans, it can become very deadly, a high mortality rate. It's like, oh, they're not even in the hospital. You can continue to eat the food and everything like that. But that's what they're supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say, yo, don't eat it. It's crazy. All right, we got to shut everything down. This, then, the third. It will mess up their bottom line. Okay. But as you see, the monolith followed by bird flu. Bird flu's been out for a while. I remember Gucci Mane was talking about, you know, you got the common cold, I got the bird flu. This was old school Gucci when he was throwing women out his car and, you know what I mean, punching Mac Breezy in the face and doing all that type of stuff. So bird flu it's not nothing new, but now that it's transferring over to humans and it's happening not everywhere, it is kind of spreading, but it's starting to spread more in Colorado after that monolith, right? Let's bring that out. Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 5.
God, this is the book of Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 5. Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet.
So, you know what I mean? That pestilence is moving and shaking over there, okay? Now let's get Exodus chapter 9 and verse 13. When we talk about pestilence and we talk about judgment, this just happened right here.
Some breaking news now into the KRON 4 newsroom. We have just learned that President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. This positive test result just came down. We're told that the president tested ahead of a speech he was set to give to a Latin advocacy group conference today. It's one of the largest gatherings of Latinos and allies. It's happening in Las Vegas. This is a developing story, so we're still working to get more details. We don't know if the president has any symptoms or how sick he is. We just know that he has tested positive for COVID and has canceled a speech that was set to happen tonight so far. We're working to get more details, and as they come in this hour, I'll be sure to bring them to you right here on KRON 4 at 3.
And let's not forget that it was a monolith scene in Las Vegas in the desert over there, and the police talked about it and they had to take it down because everybody's trying to find it and it's probably getting lost in the desert and dying or whatever. But now President Biden has COVID, man. You know, that White House rebuke is the rebuke that keeps on rebuking. You know what I'm saying? He might not make it. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? He's up there and he don't even know where he's at anyway. And now he got that COVID in him. You know, that might be it for him. And he actually this came out. Biden has recently become more receptive to the idea of stepping aside, asking aides how Kamala Harris can win against Trump. So there that is. Kamala might be running. You know what I mean? She's kind of like an airhead. But she might be your next Democratic elect. You know what I'm saying? We shall see. But let's go to Exodus chapter 9 and verse 13. Bubba Kashar.
This is Exodus chapter 9 and verse 13. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me.
So we you know what I mean? When from the White House, let my people go. Go ahead.
For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth.
The Most High is terrible with these people, man. These kings of the earth. Biden got COVID. Trump got shot in the head. They said Xi Jinping had a stroke today. That's the president of China. Said he had a stroke today. The president of Iran, helicopter ran into a mountain. They got to do elections to figure out who's going to be the president over there. King Charles has cancer. His sister or whatever, I don't know, sister, girlfriend, whatever, queen, not queen, what's her name? Some Anne, you know, she's royalty. She fell and bumped her head and, you know, got all messed up, a concussion, had to go to the hospital. The Duchess of Kate Middleton, cancer. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is systematically destroying these people. What's his name? What is this dude's name? Slocky. The Senator Menendez. Yeah, Menendez. Senator Menendez, New Jersey, just got convicted of being a foreign agent. He has 16 charges, I believe, federal charges, convicted on all of them. You know what I'm saying? Giving money, or not money, influence, taking money from Egypt, places like Egypt. So here you go, modern day Egypt, working with ancient Egypt. And now he's going to get sentenced. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's going to get an appeal and all this other stuff. But what it comes down to is this. The Most High God, anybody that says they're a king and I wear a crown, I'm a boss, I'm the king of this, whatever, God is destroying them. Okay? Now let's go to Salakia. Oh, matter of fact, keep on going, King. Where we at? Verse 15?
Verse 15. Exodus chapter 9, verse 15. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth.
So spite you and the people. So Biden's getting it and the people are getting it. And you look at Biden, he went to you know, like yesterday, I believe, or, you know, now he's seeing the Latinos. He's going, I want to go talk to Latinos, which the Democrats call taco bowls in their emails that got leaked by WikiLeaks. Before he was talking to the NAACP, and he was talking about, yeah, man, you know, I got this friend that was in the projects. You got friends that's in the projects, Biden? You know what I'm saying? Like really trying to, and people keep getting shot and all this other stuff, like thinking the stuff that we could relate to, like, oh yeah, I know somebody that got shot. You know what I'm saying? He might as well have said, yeah, so I just bought these new pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? About to give me a 40 ounce, right? Right, guys? You know what I'm saying? So Joe Biden was out pandering, right, to the NAACP, who probably went, hey, let me get a picture with you. Give me a hug, you know? Here, everybody, somebody take this selfie. And this dude got COVID. So they probably got it too. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way the Most High is working. Okay, go ahead. Can you read verse 16?
Gone. And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
I raised you up just so I could destroy you and let everybody know that I'm the man. You're not the man. I'm the man. I'm the Most High. All right. I'm the, what did he say? He said, I'm the leader of the free world. Shalom. God, all praises. Double XL, right on, right on. Podcast, right on, right on. Oh, beautiful, beautiful word. God.
It's definitely, definitely gonna take. It ain't an easy road, brother, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. Trust me. Most I will.
Con, raising up Yahushai. Oh man, be drawn into right on. Con elder. So, you know, Joe Biden's good. He said, I'm a leader of the free world, and guess what? The Most High is bringing that down. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing them down to the ground. Nothing he could do about it. All right. Let me see the next video. Matter of fact, let's get Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 13. Okay. So Joe Biden is getting trashed. Might not make it, might not make it through the night. Who knows, you know? Or he might just destroy him and have him keep going. You know, the Most High he's having fun with these guys. You know what I'm saying? But let's bring that out. Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 13.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 13. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence.
So Jake is all, hey, Biden speaking. Let's go see what Biden has to say. You know, and he's about to make it to 10 tribes. You know what I mean? And hear what they got to say. You know what I mean? Oh, Biden's speaking, you know what I'm saying? Like he's so important. Go ahead, can we read verse 14?
Verse 14. So that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return, but such as shall escape.
Because they trust in Egypt, man. They trust following after the customs of the Edomites, you know what I mean? The modern day Egyptians that we're talking about right now, okay? All right, well, let's see what else happened in Colorado. Let's not forget, monolith happened. So what happened? What is occurring still?
Someone in Colorado has the plague. Yep, that's the same plague that killed millions of Europeans during the Middle Ages.
Let's get 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. Literally, the plague is back in Colorado. Let's continue.
It's not clear how the person is doing or how they got infected, but the bacteria is transmitted by fleas and rats. It is now treated with antibiotics, but it can still cause serious complications if it's not caught early.
Can you bring that out? 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 11.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
And there's literally the plague in Colorado. All right. Literally the plague. You said plagues, it's literally the plague. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we'll see how far that goes, but it's there. Babylon is getting destroyed. Okay. Now let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Couple more videos, y'all. Couple more. Thanks for rocking out. I know it's getting late. All right. But couple more. And this happened in New York and New Jersey and seen in Pennsylvania. So if anybody on here has seen it, let me know. Right. But this just happened. And they're saying it's a meteor, right? A fireball, quotations, right? And it was going to the west and then it was going to the east. But that doesn't happen with fireballs. They usually go straight down, straight over, whatever. They don't usually switch different locations. But apparently this one did. Matter of fact, you can bring that out now. Jeremiah 10, verse 2, Bubba Shaw.
This is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
They're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what is going on? This place is going crazy. There's sunspots. There's the moon. It's an eclipse on this side, and there's a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, the same month, and now there's fireballs going all over the place. Hey man, this is it. Let's watch this video. It's Dabu 7 reporting.
This is Dabu 7. Wondering if any of you out there had witnessed or heard or felt anything connected to this large fireball that went over the NYC area yesterday. A little over 24 hours ago, reports started to come in of this massive fireball in the broad daylight coming over the area of the Statue of Liberty in NYC and then moving into another area over Jersey. Some of the details are kind of weird about this, but when you dig into it, there are clips from different areas of this. I'll share with you here one from the Meteor Society. You can look up right here. You can see it just that quick. People are saying that they witnessed this flash flight going through the sky in Connecticut, and in Jersey. Now, the Meteor Society said that they received dozens of reports of this fireball, and this is around 11:15 a.m. East Coast time in the tri-state area, parts of Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. So this is witnessed by a lot of people. Now, NASA said that the fireball was first seen over New York City. Then it traveled east at 38,000 miles per hour and passed over the Statue of Liberty before heading west into New Jersey. So the big question there is, how can a fireball be moving east and then west? NASA noted that the initial trajectory was based on eyewitness accounts that had not been verified by satellite data. It also said that no meteorites were found and that military activity in the area may have caused the shaking. So they're pointing a finger toward the military. NASA themselves are about the shaking, and many of the people saying that shaking is associated with this light in the sky, sonic boom, if you will. You can see it right here. I just showed you the clips. You can see the images. Was wondering if any of you guys out there had seen it, witnessed it, try to get to the bottom of this. If so, let me know in the chat.
All right. So huge fireball passes over the Statue of Liberty. Don't forget, the Statue of Liberty got struck by lightning. New York had an earthquake. This stuff was not that long ago. Like, man, that's old news. No, that was like a month ago. Like, none of this stuff is old. These things keep on happening. You know, it's so much news that it just seems like, you know, wow, it had to be like 10, 15 years ago. Not at all. Okay. Now for the last video, which is crazy, you know what I'm saying? Hurricane Beryl, right? Let's get Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. This hurricane went through the Caribbean, went through Mexico, came up to Texas, Houston, right? And then made the same trajectory. If you look at the trajectory of the hurricane and the same trajectory of the eclipse, remember that eclipse that passed through, what was it, Nineveh's, like 7 Ninevehs? You know what I mean? It just went across the United States. And when it looked at the other eclipse that happened years ago, it's like an X throughout the United States. When you look at the trajectory of the hurricane and the eclipse, it's pretty much on the same type time. Okay. Can't make this stuff up. Why would I try? So let's bring that out. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3, Bubba Gashar.
Con, this is Nahum chapter 1 and verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Con. So the Lord have his way in the storm. You got to see this. You can't make this up. Let me just get to the proper timestamp. Okay. And let's get Daniel 10 and 5 on deck. All right. Because as soon as they said Beryl, I'm like, man, that's in the Bible, right? And what does scripture say? I'm not going to meet you as a man. You know what I mean? The Most High is using nature to destroy. You know, there's times where it'd be a tornado and the whole block is gone except that one house. You know what I mean? So we got to aim to be that one house. We got to aim to have the protection of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know what I mean? Not fall into the traps of this world and how this world works, because they're destined to be destroyed. All right. Let's watch this. This is crazy too, by the way. That's why I saved this for last. Look at this blip, quote unquote blip on the radar. Keep in mind, you know, this guy, he knows that it's anomalous. It's like, you know, with that's not normal, right? But what he's lacking, obviously, I believe he's an Edomite. He's definitely Edomite, matter of fact, is scriptures. You know what I'm saying? To back up all these things that are happening. So he's like, I don't know what's going on. You do. you know the name of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know the name of Heavenly Father. You know the name of the Son. You know you got to follow the law, statutes, commandments, and all these things, you know, are making increasingly more and more sense as the days go on. All right, but look at this video.
Asked. I want to share with you guys now a bizarre radar observation that was noticed by Simon as Hurricane Beryl was making landfall in southeast Texas. Watch what happens down here in central Mexico. Get a load of that bizarre.
Look at that. What does that look like to you? Does that look like anything normal? Look at the colors, because obviously you can see the colors of the hurricane. So, you know, the moisture, you know what I mean? The amount, the dense wind shear. You can see the circle color over there while it's hitting Texas. Look at that. Look at the orange. Look at the green and then look on the inside. Come on, man. Y'all already know what it is. Okay. Let's bring that out. Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5, Baba Kashar.
And I got a quick precept after that too to back this one up. This is Daniel's chapter 10 and verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
Go ahead.
His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color of polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
So, you know what I mean? You know, the Most High is in charge of everything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I see this as, listen, man, this is a time like no other. You know, I'm seeing what's going on. I hear your cries. I hear you, you know, the things that you're going through in this time period. You know what I mean? Look at this, 7/7. That's the day it happened, 7/7. You know, the Most High is aware of the pain and agony that we going through in this society. You know, so it's just hopefully, you know, this wisdom wake up call, you know what I mean, it propel you to continue to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Put your sins behind you and be highly aware that the time is short. You know what I mean? Do everything you can to make it. Do everything you can to make your election sure. All right? Because that's not normal. I'm sure we can all look at this. This is a radar. You know what I mean? You have access to radar. You can go on, you know, www.radar.com or whatever this guy got this from. You can go on there and check out the same things that, you know, that they see in the the meteorologists. So this is legit. And this is serious. Khan King, you want to bring out your the precept?
Yeah, Khan. Can you hear me?
Khan.
Yeah, I want to bring out Ezekiel chapter 1. This is going to be a good one. Ezekiel chapter 1 is basically going to back up precept with the video and the visuals and everything. Ezekiel chapter 1 in verse number 4. I'll bring it out. Ezekiel chapter 1 in verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance, and they had the likeness of a man. So this is describing the angels, right? And it said a whirlwind, right? And it said the color was amber. If you look at the outer part of the wheel, it's like amber color, right? Like orange, you know, orange reddish type of fire. Now, verse number 16. Slaki, verse 15. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. And they had 4, and they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. That's literally how it looks like. And verse 18. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them 4. So that's showing a quick one pertaining to the beryl, tying it also with the angel, also with the whirlwind. Right? And I got one more. Ezekiel chapter 10 and verse number 8. And there appeared in the cherubims the form of a man's hand under their wings. And when I looked, behold, the 4 wheels by the cherubims, and one wheel by one cherub, and another wheel by another cherub. And the appearance of the wheels was as the color of a beryl stone. So, 2 quick precepts speaking about with the angels. That hurricane beryl is not a normal thing. And then seeing the visual with that wheel and the wheels, the spinning from the outside layer, look at the color scheme. Orange is like amber, and then within a wheel within a wheel. Right? So that's not a normal thing, man. Man, that's cold, man. Call me so.
Excellent precepts, King Dawada. Yeah, so that is the class, you know what I'm saying? I want to end on that because it's mind-blowing, you know, and those excellent precepts are as always, you know what I'm saying? And he said it's not normal. This hurricane was not normal. This is not a category 5 hurricane does not happen in June. You know what I'm saying? That's just the water has to heat up and it has to be really into the summertime. No, that thing was depression. By the time it hit, I think it was Grenada or something, with the islands in the Caribbean. By the time it hit them, it turned to a category 5. It was taking roofs off of buildings. You know what I'm saying? They thought it was going to go away from Jamaica. It still hit Jamaica. I don't think it hit. Some people said it didn't hit as bad, but they have the trajectory is going to go right here. It said, nope, I'm going to hit Jamaica too. Went over there, hit Issachar. So, it's hitting all the tribes, you know what I'm saying? And coming up to Houston and made the same trajectory of the eclipse. Look at that. And then just in case you didn't know who it was or who's behind all this, there it is. Okay.
It's our radar ring or whatever it may be. I'm assuming that's some sort of a radar station. And for whatever reasons, it's showing some sort of a wild signature. Almost looks like a big mothership landed in central Mexico.
What'd he say?
Radar ring.
Chariots, man.
Whatever it may be. I'm assuming that's some sort of a radar station.
Look how it's moving too. See the colors like the hurricanes moving. Look how it's moving.
And for whatever reasons, it's showing some sort of a wild signature. Almost looks like a big mothership landed in central Mexico as Hurricane Beryl was making landfall in southeast Texas. Could have been some sort of a software glitch. Not quite sure what's going on. See,
Esau don't have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? He was right the first time. Okay. It's not a software glitch.
Those every once in a while, not very often, at least not quite this unique. That one is very unique. Notice.
Look at that. Look how intricate it is. The different colors, you know what I mean? A wheel within a wheel. All right. So Dawada, everyone, I know it's gotten late. But I definitely wanted to end on this one because this thing is serious. And I'm telling you the trumpets I heard and just the stuff that's going on in the world, this is not normal. You know what I mean? It's not normal. So, Most High willing, everybody that's on is gonna, have the fast from Wednesday, sundown, which will be tonight, to Thursday sundown. And ask for protection. You know what I'm saying? In these last days, it's gonna get hectic, it's gonna get real. The white supremacists are mobilizing. You know what I mean? They're invigorated. They're ready to go. Oh, dare you try to take my president out? You know what I mean? They're serious about this. All right. So we gotta be serious about Yahweh Shem Yahushai, knowing that he is watching over us and he's helping us in these last days. Okay. So what we gotta do? Follow these laws, statutes, commandments. Okay. So we're gonna end with the Lord's Prayer. We're gonna come back, for everybody that's on the Zoom. and talk about what's going on as far as new moons coming up, feast days, things of that nature. All right, so if everybody that's on stand face the east or prostrate face the east, we're going to close out in prayer. So this is the Lord's Prayer in Paleo Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malafwaka, Daba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nadananawa, Lacham, Kau, Yowam, Wasalaf Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalaf Nawa, Kabawafi Nawa, Wala'a, Dabe Nawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Wa'ala, Wa'taparaf, Lai Walumnum, Amen. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, we come to you humble, shamefaced in these last days. May your will be done. May you continue to vex and destroy Esau, the 2/3, Esau and the other nations, uplifting the righteous, that those that aim to be righteous, Yahweh, of the 12 tribes of Israel. Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar, provide them with protection, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to survive these final hours, Jacob's trouble, and everything that the devil, the Edomites, and other nations try to activate on your chosen people. Protect us, uplift us, and we will continue to uplift your name, Yahweh, and the name of your only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, throughout the four corners of the earth. If it be your will, send your Son back to destroy this place and bring us to the second wilderness, where the rebels will be purged out, and Most High willing, we will make it into the land of milk and honey that is promised to our ancestors and us. In Yahweh's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Khan, all praises. Hopefully everything was edifying.